That's good for our kids to have a challenge, and Lee Summit had some great kids, great athletes that were able to make some of those plays.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing about when you start off the season. You're not really sure what the kind of competition you're going to have is going to be. You don't want to suddenly find yourself in week 4 not feeling like you had, played your best football.
Yeah, I agree. And for our kids to battle back and really kind of put it to them in the second half, showed a lot to me, and we talked about that. And now we're getting into really the heart of our schedule and Liberty's, on the docket tonight. And they're a great football team. So I'm hoping some of that adversity, if we face it tonight, we've had the experience with it, and we can overcome anything.
On the positive side, it seemed like we had a more balanced attack offensively last week.
Yeah, Jamison Harden was 7 for 8. I think he had 164 yards, 3 touchdown passes. So that really benefited Surratt, who had over 100 yards rushing, and you mix in Mayo and Jaden Hines, and we were a pretty potent offense that night.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is it about Jackson? It seems like the more times you give him the ball, the stronger he gets at it.
Yeah, he's kind of a workhorse, and he's he showed a little bit of that last year as a junior, and this year, his senior year, he knows he's taking the brunt of the load, and he's done a great job. And he knows if he needs a rest, David Mayo is going to come in and really finish off for us.
And also, having run so much Wildcat, but being able to throw out of it also kind of gives a little wrinkle to the defense.
Yeah, both Mayo and Jaden Hines are, they're not prolific passers, but they get the job done, and they did it Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, like I said, defensively, we gave up some points, but at the same time, I still thought our defensive line, and our linebackers were just, still lights out.
Yeah, anytime you hold a team to 38 yards of rushing, you're doing something right. And again, a couple of those plays were just mental mistakes that they hit it big on the passing game. I'm talking about Lee Summit. But, no, overall our defense was still flying around, still looked really fast, and that's what we pride ourselves in.
Now, the other aspect, which is special teams, first 2 weeks they were just really contributing. Boy, it was a bit of a wild ride last week.
Yeah, we had to sub in for Haney on punt return, and we had difficulty there, and that turned into some points. And then our kicking game has been really good this year, and those guys have so much pressure on them. And I think they'll be fine tonight. And we really talked about just mentally being tough and getting through those mental mistakes that they made.
So weather is still kind of warm out here for the 4th week of the season. You still got the water breaks, at least that's nice, but I don't know how much of a factor that's going to be.
Anytime you've got this heat like this humidity, this late in the fall, it's not good. And those water breaks, I think, are going to help us. And we talked about hydration all week, of course.
Any injuries?
No injuries tonight.
All right, what are the keys?
Well, Liberty is, I think they're going to try to pound it with their running back, number 20, Wintrick Williams, I believe is his last name, and he is he's quite an athlete. But they've also got some guys that can catch the ball. Number 10, Dennis, is a fast kid, and I think just making sure we take care of the run first and keeping over the top of their speedy receivers is going to be key defensively. Offense, we've got to control the ball. We've got to have another 100-yard rushing game. And just like you said, be more versatile and mix it up with the passing game.
As far as defending the pass is concerned, you guys have been relying on your corners a lot, kind of leaving them out there to cover. You've got such fabulous safeties. You'd think that they'd be able to, you could give them a hand once or twice.
Yeah, and we do, but we trust our corners. We've got 3 that rotate in there, and we really like them, and they're competitors. A couple long balls isn't going to phase them. They're going to have the mentality to get right back in it.
All right, should be fun. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Joel.
All right, that's Coach Carswell. I am Joel Becker, and this is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
We are back live at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files. Lee Summit West getting set to take on the Liberty Blue Jays tonight here at home, second straight week. 3 out of the first 4 games have been home games for this Titan team, which is a good way to get started with the season, but might means that we're going to play a lot of the rest of the season on the road, doesn't it?
It does, and it's a business trip. The kids got to learn to play on the road, and I think they are well on their way.
So Will Peacock, I think, has changed his jersey number to number 49.
Okay.
There is also the possibility. Yeah, that's what was on the 2 deep chart that I got, was that he had changed from 18 to 49. The only thing is that Tucker Selby is also a
49.
kicker at 49, so I'm wondering if it isn't Tucker, because he looks a little shorter than Will.
Yes,
as I recall.
agree.
And so I'm thinking this is Tucker.
Okay, well, we're going to give Tucker credit for it, and then we'll adjust the stats if that is not the case. How's that?
Like I said, the depth chart that I got had, and it's not like Will hasn't done a good job, but he could be a little tweaked or something,
Sure.
maybe a hamstring.
Maybe a little under the weather.
Yeah. But at any rate, but like I said, sometimes they'll change the number and forget to change the name. So we'll see, but at any rate, ball teed up at the 40-yard line, and we are set to go. And underway, a line drive kick is going to bounce at about the 15, come down to the 10, and it is taken there, trying to go all the way across the field, and only out to about the 12-yard line on the return there, and that was Dennis. It's Caden Dennis. And so very poor field position for the Blue Jays to start.
Not the way you want to start out if you're the visiting football team. You
By the way,
get a little better return.
That kick makes me think even more that it's Selby.
Yes. Dennis should have just abandoned that wall and gone straight up the field and gotten what he could.
You'd think so. Leninger is the quarterback, and the inside give on the first play from scrimmage, right up the middle to Williams. Not much there on the carry, and it'll be second down and long. Wentrick D. Williams III. We'll just call him Williams.
Or Trey, I like that.
If I knew he went by that, that'd be fine.
fine.
But I don't think so I'm not going to say it. The quarterback is Tyler Leninger, and he is from the shotgun. And a give again, trying the left side this time, Williams, and he is hit and tackled at the 15 after the first down gain of maybe a yard and a half, the second down gain of another yard and a half, and it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Blue Jays on their opening drive. Just underway here in the first quarter, no score.
Williams is a state championship wrestler and was a Simone finalist last year. So the
looks,
young man comes with the pedigree.
He looks like he could wrestle. Big kid. He is to the left and a little bit behind Leninger on 3rd down. The quick wide receiver screen and hit, and not much there. Good play by Grauberger to knock him down. Dennis on the catch. And it'll be 4th down and a 3 and out for the Blue Jays.
Nice start by the Titan defense. That's what you like to see, is everybody getting involved and doing a great job and playing their responsibilities.
So Brian Haney back deep, standing at about his own 44, as Anthony Wenson standing back to punt at about his own 5, and it's a rugby-style punt. Is he going to fake it? He's going to fake it, and he's going to get a first down and more as he gets throughout to the 30-yard line up to about the 32. And a good play by a really courageous play, but still a good play by the Blue Jays. On 4th down and 5, they needed the 22 and got the 32. There's a penalty flag down, though, and I believe this one's coming back. Looks like it is against the Blue Jays.
You got to believe that the kid did that on his own.
It looked like he was getting ready for a rugby-style kick, and he may have been told, and this was a holding call, by the way, and so the Titans catch a huge break there. Although if their defense kept playing like they were, it would have only been a field position issue.
Sure.
But still, think they'll fake it again?
Probably not. And when you're a rugby-style kicker, the one thing that you do is that you look and see if there's somebody close, and if there is, you pull it down and you move is what you do and get what you can.
Well, one thing is that Wenson, who is their punter, is also one of their receivers, so he obviously can run the football. He is now standing at his goal line, bit of a high snap and not a rugby-style kick. He kicks it straight, and it's Haney at about the Blue Jay 48. Up the middle, crisscrosses, breaks a tackle inside the 30, 25, down to the 20, down the near sideline, one man to beat, hit at the 5, toward the end zone. Touchdown Titans. A 48-yard punt return from Brian Haney, the first time the Titans touched the football. And with 9:46 left to go, first quarter, Titans on top, and 6-0 with the extra point to come.
Joel, we've done a lot of football together, but I'm going to tell you that's probably the finest punt return I've seen in at least 20 years of watching high school football. Great job by Haney with the jukes left and right, keeping his shoulders heading north and south, and by golly, did he not just run over 2 people at the goal line. Awesome job by Brian Haney.
Well, that was the thing, is that it wasn't so much fast. We've seen guys on our team that have had such speed that they've been able to just blow by everybody. Grayson Hanna out for the extra point, snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, and it is good. 9:46 to go, 7-0 our score. But in this case, it wasn't a speed run, and like you said, when he got to the goal line, he had the punter and one other guy, and he just basically bowled right over them into the end zone.
He showed the agility of making those short, quick cuts, and his patience to get behind his blockers and work upfield. All right, I'm excited, man. Let's make this a big night tonight.
All right, we'll be back with the kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome out to Titan Stadium. Back live, Joel Becker along with Mark Files. Lee Summit West and Liberty. Titans on top of the Blue Jays 7-0. On a 48-yard punt return, Brian Haney. It's amazing the change in momentum there for the Titans. And again, I'm pretty sure this is Tucker Selby who will step into one here and kick it. And it's going to bounce, bounce out of bounds, unfortunately. And that'll give the Blue Jays much better field position this time around. So we had a fake punt that would have resulted in an actual
first down.
Yeah, and then it came back on a penalty. And so then we turned to a 48-yard touchdown. I mean, what a change in momentum that is.
It is. I mean, it's huge.
The Titans defensively were terrific on their first set of downs. We'll see if they can keep that up here against the Liberty offense. All they saw was basically Williams on runs and one short pass, and they're going to try up the middle. Williams again, left tackle. He does break a tackle this time, get up to near the 40. It'll be a 5-yard gain. And a 2nd down and 5, went over left tackle that time. Lawson, Capria, DePoto, Krutzinger, and Martin up front for the Blue Jays.
You know, we talk about how Surratt gets stronger the more he carries the ball. Well, Williams does the exact same thing for Liberty. The guy's an animal. I love the way he carries the football.
So, 2nd down and 5, their longest gain from scrimmage so far in the game. And it'll be Williams again, trying the same side this time. He is met almost immediately by Sweeney. Ramsey helps to finish him off. No gain, maybe a half a yard on the play. They'll give him a yard to the 41 and set up a 3rd down and 4 from there.
Nice job by the Titan defense of swarming when they're tackling. That's what you like to see. You like to see the guys all getting in there and mixing it up. And a nice quick start by Sweeney getting in there and getting that tackle along with Ramsey as made it linebacker.
So 3rd and 4. Last time they tried the wide receiver screen. They've got trips out to the right side, and we get whistles. I believe this will be a false start. It could be encroachment. I was told today, by the way, and it is encroachment against the Titans. We've always called that offsides.
It's encroachment.
And I was told by our supervisor, there's a guy out here who is reviewing our refereeing crew, Kevin Neal, Gary Thompson, David Caven, Jeff Butcher, and Aaron Clark officiating. And he mentioned that there is no such thing as offsides in high school because, again, you can't jump back. So they call it encroachment, which I thought it was the other way around, actually. Back to throw, and nowhere to go to, and Ely will take Leninger out of bounds and dump him into the sideline. I guess technically that'll go as a sack because it looks like he lost about a yard or so back to the 45. And it'll be 2nd down and 11 from there. Good play by Ben Ely. But at any rate, so I thought because, like in an NFL game, you don't get called for encroachment unless you actually touch somebody.
Right.
And so I thought that encroachment required contact, but apparently not.
No.
So at any rate,
That's
second
good
down.
to know that the supervisor official is under the rules.
Yeah. And it'll be Williams up the middle. This time he's got some running room. Good tackle at the last second there. Looked like Sweeney and Grauberger was able to get a shoelace and take him down, but not before a gain of about 8. It'll be 3rd down and 3. And that time Wentrick was able to hit the hole in a hurry.
You know what? He didn't mess around. There's no dancing behind the line of scrimmage. He gets his hole and hits that hole and goes straight upfield. He's running definitely a north-south runner.
From a pistol formation, Leninger steps up toward the line. 3rd down and 3. H-back on the right side. It'll be a give. Williams, he gets the 1st down and was tackled by the back judge, who is...
Hope he's okay.
Yeah,
man,
he took a pretty hard shot there. Aaron Clark is the back judge tonight. And what was concerning to me was the back of his head hitting the turf.
Hitting the turf.
Because, while the field turf is somewhat soft,
what's underneath
it is not. But he looks like he's okay. On 1st down, big sack in the backfield as Chase Hammond was able to come unobstructed all the way in. Nobody touched him. I was hoping he wasn't going to get a penalty for some sort of a grab to the head there, but
it almost looked like that he was almost offsides. He just anticipated that so quickly, man.
Well, and nobody was blocking him, and he came off the ball so quickly. Nobody touched him, and he was back in the backfield before Leninger even knew what was going on.
Missed assignment big time.
2nd straight series with a tackle for a loss on the first play, on the 1st down play. 2nd and 15. Back to go Leninger trying to set up a screen. He does, but Williams caught immediately and tackled by Noah Jones, who was not fooled. Stayed with his man from a defensive line position. Well, you got to like it when you've got a defensive end who can just cover a running back coming out of the backfield on a pass route.
Well, Coach Parks is going to be real excited if he saw that, because that means his D linemen are doing the job, and that's the work you put in summer camp, and you teach your kids to stay home and play your responsibility, trust your teammates to do their job. Awesome job by the defense.
Third down and about 16 or 17 here for the Blue Jays. Trips on the left, one on the right. Williams in the backfield. They fake it to him. Comes up the middle. Lininger trying to get around the edge. And chased and shoved out of bounds by Ramsey as Wyatt got kind of shoved. He was still well in bounds when he pushed him. And it'll set up fourth down. It's a little too far for a four down. You'd imagine they'll try and just coffin corner this.
Well, yeah, you got to shake it up a little bit and bury the Titans deep, and I guarantee you the punter was told do not kick it to 11 in blue.
Well, the thing is that we've played a little over half the quarter, 5:49 left to go, and the offense hasn't touched the ball, and he does do the rugby style kick, and it will go out of bounds at about the 14 or so. There was a little contact there at the very end, but no flags came out.
Yeah, the punter had gone down. The ball had already gone, and he was just running, and they just ran into the same space.
Right. Although I don't know exactly what the rules are in high school with regard to those rugby-style kickers, because when you start running around, you lose some of that protection as a punter. You can still kick it, and that doesn't mean you can get creamed, when you kick the ball.
Right. You're given the opportunity to get that ball off in flight.
Yeah. But there's a little more leeway, I think, allowed to the defense for incidental contact in that scenario. So, like I said, though, and we're getting our water break timeout now for this first quarter of play with 5:42 left to go. So 5:42 left to go in the first quarter. And the Titans are on top 7-0, but they have not touched the ball on offense yet.
And so, if you're Coach Edwards, the OC, what do? Throw it deep, don't you?
Well, of course. Go for the home run
right here. Definitely throw it for the home run. Trick play. Throw the home run right now.
Statue of Liberty, halfback option.
No, you got to set the Statue of Liberty up. So, just grip it and rip it,
The two guys over center, everybody else on the one side.
Dog patch, the Driscoll formation, dog patch.
I don't think they're going to do any of that, by the way, just for the record.
But they are an empty backfield, so.
Yeah, at least for the moment. But here comes Surratt back to the left of Hardin. From the shotgun, trips on the right. On 1st and 10, it'll be a handoff to Surratt. Finds a hole up the middle. He'll get across the 20 and up to about the 23. A pickup of 5, maybe 6. It'll be second down. Let's call it 2nd and 5 from there.
Not as sexy, but it was a nice run by Surratt for the first play from the line of scrimmage.
Well, like I said, I was being facetious, obviously. You don't want to.
No, you're right.
To hand the ball right back to their offense because, your own defense needs a breather at this point. You want a nice little drive here.
And you got to get your offensive linemen building a sweat up. They want to knock around some people too.
Yep. Here is Surratt again up the middle, finds a hole, and he'll get a first down up near the 30-yard line. As Jackson Surratt with some good patience there waiting for the hole to open up and then jumping on through it. I guess he took lessons from Mr. Williams.
Yes, he did. Or from Mr. Haney or Williams, both. I mean,
both of them. But
done a nice job, yeah. Maturity in the way the kids play. That has been huge this year, and both on the offense and the defensive side of the ball, and then, of course, on special teams.
Man in motion is Coble to the right side. Back to throw Hardin. Hardin will throw that right side. It is caught. And it is Dickerson, and he lost the football, and it comes back the other way. It was stripped from him. It looks like there by Amarazi.
And
there is a flag down way back where it happened in the first place. As it stands right now, though, it's Liberty football, 1st and goal from the 5. Let's look and see what the penalty is.
I think it's going to stay Liberty's ball, to be honest with you. I think they had a little pick play and it was unintentional, but I think the Titan receivers ran into each other and created that pick.
Pass interference against the offense, just like you said. So that'll be declined, and Liberty will have the ball 1st and goal from the Titan 5-yard line after the, I guess it goes as a fumble.
Yes.
Even though it was really a strip more than anything else.
All the way down at the 5-yard line.
Great play by Amarazi.
Yes, it was.
So like I said, what you didn't want to see, they're actually marking him at the 6. What you did not want to see for the Titans is putting their defense back on the field so quickly, and certainly not on the 6-yard line.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's that funky mojo that we were talking about earlier. Liberty always manages to get one of those kind of plays.
Yeah, we'll hope that this one
is the last one.
Yeah, is early enough that can easily be overcome. Direct snap, Williams. He's hit at the line and tackled for no gain. Good penetration. That time by the Titans, it was Sweeney coming from the middle, and then Jones was over there as well to help finish it off along with Swan.
The Titan defensive squad and the coaches have done a great job of scouting Blue Springs because they've learned you got to tackle Williams with a group. You can't go one-on-one with him. The man's just too strong.
Leninger, man in motion, and it will be Williams again and again. Met at the line for no gain. They'll give him a yard to the 5. It'll be 3rd and goal from there. And it's just a good, right now you've got, Woods and Jones and Swan up through the 3 up front have been able to impose their will, as you say, on the front 5 of the Blue Jays.
Well, they're winning the battle here in the first quarter, and that's a great thing, and it makes it real tough for Williams to get off any head of steam.
Boy, 3.5 minutes left to go in that first quarter. We'll see what happens here, and if they don't make it, see what they do. Leninger from the pistol this time, and he looks to throw. He will throw toward the end zone. It's incomplete. He was looking for Amarazi and overthrew him. He was actually open, but that was a tough throw, I have to say.
It was it was something an awful lot to ask of a high school quarterback. That's a tough throw. It's a touch pass.
Yeah,
and it is tough to throw.
It was open in that if he could have laid it in there, it was potentially catchable.
Well, and it's one of those passes that you got to get the arc just right, or you're going to give your defender enough time to knock it down.
4th down. I'm not so sure Liberty's not going to call a timeout here. Yeah. With 3:16 left to go, they're going to figure out what they want to do. Do they want to go for it, down 7-0, or do they want to, from the 6-5-yard line, see what they can do? Now, the Titans have been pretty good on 4th down, and they have also been so far, knock on aluminum,
wood,
pretty pretty good about stopping Williams. I mean, Williams has had a couple of decent runs, but there have been plenty of times he hadn't gotten started. I don't know what I mean by that is you can't just assume that you've got a 5-yard easy Williams run.
Well, and the way the outside linebackers are playing, Hammond and Ely, it's tough to do that play action bootleg. I mean, those guys are going to be there waiting for the quarterback for sure.
And Sweeney up the middle has just been a great job of clogging that area. They do have the offense on the field, not the kicking team, so they are going to go for it. Here on 4th down and goal from the 5. Leninger with Williams to his right. Man in motion, and it is back to throw. Looking right side, and it is incomplete. Broken up by Grauberger. It was a little bit underthrown on the original pass, which was intended for Carvajal on the near side. And actually, I did a good job there of not intercepting that ball. Well, because I don't know if he really could have or not, but that would have been the dumbest thing he could have done on a 4th down play. He was on the 2 or something like that. At least it gives him back to the 5.
Yeah, and I don't know what the traffic was around him and in front of him. But
yeah, he was diving. There was no way
to get up for it.
No, he wouldn't have been able to get up, so he'd have been down.
In the position he was in, he did the right thing, knocked the ball down.
It was
smart. And that was the right play. Comes back to the maturity we've been talking about the plays they're making.
Pistol formation, the give to Surratt. Big hole up the middle. He gets across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. We'll call it the 16. 1st and 10. Gain of 11, Jackson Surratt. I have to say I was a little surprised that they didn't go Wildcat for that, run from their own 5-yard line. But with Harden in at quarterback, Surratt with a big hole up the middle.
Tell you what, they want the guys to get their reps in at the quarterback position for sure.
Twins on the left, nobody on the right. Tight end and an H-back on that side. There's a flag as Surratt was hit in the backfield. He did actually was able to break the tackle and get positive yardage, but it is going to be, they're calling it an illegal formation or illegal procedure.
Yeah, Surratt moved just before the ball was snapped. He can move laterally, but he can't move forward towards the line of scrimmage.
No, although I see that all the time not get called.
Yeah, but the supervisor isn't watching the game.
So our referee, Kevin Neal, makes the call. And that will cost, actually they declined it, it looks like.
No, they
did move him back. Okay, so it'll be first down and 15 from their own 11. Trips on the right, on the left, one man on the right. Harden from the shotgun. He'll fake, throw it, and it is incomplete. Intended for Miller on the right side, who they're trying to see. It seems like they're trying to target him more and more as this season is going on.
They are. They're trying to get the ball in his hands. Derek Miller has got some speed, and he's got the ability to juke. I'll tell you what, those last two passes that they've thrown, Joel, something's not right with the receivers. Are they getting jammed on the line and not getting away from the defender?
Well, in that case,
taking too long to develop.
Yeah, in that case, he wasn't getting jammed because he was going behind his other receivers. They are going to go Wildcat here with Hines in the backfield, empty backfield. He'll take the snap, and on the quarterback draw, goes straight up the middle, and he'll get to the 15 and set up a third down and long. It'll be third and about 11 from there, gain of 4 for Jaden Hines.
Well,
his first carry.
That's a concern that the offensive coaches have for the Titans. When we go into those special packages, are we becoming predictable, or are we becoming something that you can just automatically decide? Hey, that's the play that you're gonna run. So we know Hines is gonna get the ball and he's gonna run that quarterback draw out of the Wildcat.
Harden back in for the 3rd and 11 play from the pistol formation. Takes the snap, fakes, back to throw. He's got a man over the middle. Doesn't pull the trigger, loses the football, but gets it back as he was hit from behind, tackled. Technically, it'd be a sack as it's a loss of maybe a half a yard and set up a punting situation for the Titans. 95 seconds to go in the quarter, 7-0 Lee Summit West. Their points coming on a 48-yard Brian Haney punt return.
Not the start the offensive coaches want to see.
They've kind of had some
offense.
They've kind of had some ups and downs, a little shooting themselves in the foot here and there. Sweeney back in his own end zone, takes the snap, a line drive kick, didn't get much on it, but it gets a great bounce, and it is fielded on the run by Dennis, and he'll head up the left side, hitting tackle as he gets to the Titan 42. Good field position for the Blue Jays, not as good as they had last time. But Caden Dennis with a pretty good return and took a chance there trying to field that ball, a bouncing football.
Well, that young man has been doing that since his sophomore season, so nothing surprised me when he gets near that football. He's going to try to make a play, and he is a playmaker, and he has done that to the Titans a couple different times against them, especially in Liberty.
That may have been the difference of maybe as much as 30 yards.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But because if he doesn't touch it, the ball continues to bounce. Leninger from the shotgun will toss it for Dennis on the right side. Oh, that was a block on the back there. There is a flag coming out as Grauberger came up and he was pushed in the back there. Flag came up. The gain on the play was to about the 36, but this one's coming back for an illegal block. And that is, in fact, the call. Illegal block in the back, because otherwise Howie comes up and probably makes that tackle.
Or at least slows him down so the rest of the crew can help out.
Shoved from behind, which is why that's illegal. And it'll set up a first down about 20 from now their own side of the 50-yard line. Blue Jays on the Liberty 48. Just under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Titans on top, 7-0. Of course, anytime you got a running team like Liberty, you want to put them in these long situations if at all possible, which is kind of a stupid thing to say because I don't know any offense that wants to be 1st and 20.
That's right.
And we're going to get whistle. It's an official timeout. There's a flag down, though. They have 12 guys come on, or what? They're calling it offsides on Liberty. Somebody must have just stepped across the line as he was coming out. I saw that happen the last play before they snapped it. When one of the linemen came out to the ball, he walked right across the line of scrimmage, then realized that he'd gone too far and stepped back. And they blew the whistle but didn't do anything that play. This time, the line judge went ahead and called it. Boy, that guy's a butcher. Jeff Butcher, the line judge tonight. First down and now 25 after a pair of penalties. Leninger looks left. He'll throw on the left side, and it is caught. Knocked out of bounds. Amarazi. And that was just a case of Brian Haney on the coverage, never looking back for the ball because it was certainly coverable.
Well, and he was there. He just lost the receiver.
Yeah.
He got in no man's land, and Amarazi got about 3 yards of space on him and was able to adjust to the football and make a great catch.
Right, but that's the key, was he was looking back at the ball. Brian never did, and just kind of got lost, as you said. 1st and 10 down to the 29-yard line for the Blue Jays, Titan territory. Boy, converting on 1st and 25 on one play. It's Williams on the carry off left tackle. He'll get to the 26. 2nd down. They really only gave him the 27, so let's call it 2nd and 8 from there.
Yeah, I wonder what the percentages are of getting that on a 1st and 25 like that.
That's going to do it for the first quarter of play. Titans get the only score, a 48-yard touchdown run by Brian Haney, a punt return. And Lee Summit West leads at 7-0. Back with the second quarter after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
We are back live at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Liberty, and the Titans on top of the Blue Jays 7-0. 12 minutes of football in the books. You would have thought 3 minutes into the game that this was going to be a cakewalk for the Titans. They had scored a touchdown on a 48-yard punt return from Brian Haney, and their offense hadn't even touched the ball, and they're already ahead, and all of a sudden here we are, end of the first quarter, and the running back for the Blue Jays has well outgained the entire Titan offense. As Williams on the carry was stopped for no gain. Hit in the backfield on good penetration by Fosnow, and then finished off as he got to the line. It'll be a pickup of, let's call it no gain. It's 3rd down and 8.
Fosnow is one strong individual. He's tall and lanky. Doesn't look like your typical defensive end, defensive tackle, but he does a nice job in there playing that and filling that role for the Titans.
So 3rd and 8. Just underway, second quarter. Titans on top. 9 seconds left in the play clock as they hurry out to the line. Leninger. And we got whistles. It looked like the Titans, did somebody move? Or did the Titans jump across? Let's see. It is a false start against the Blue Jays.
Joel, here's what the Titans are doing. They're adjusting their defensive linemen. They're shifting down, and we're doing that.
It's flinching them.
It's making the offensive line flinch.
Which you can't do once you get set.
That's a no-no.
So it'll be 3rd and 13 after the penalty. So, again, the Blue Jays are not what you would consider to be a real good passing team necessarily, but they've had some success against the Titans so far, including on this drive. If he does throw, it will be the first time they'll go in this direction. And back to throw. Leninger, he's getting rushed. He'll step up, and he throws, and it is incomplete. And I'm not so sure he wasn't over the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
He was close, but nope, he got rid of it.
Yeah, they don't throw any flags. but it doesn't matter. It was incomplete pass anyway, so it'll be 4th down. We'll see if they go for it here. Their punter, as I mentioned, is also one of their receivers, so it's hard to tell whether they're going to, because one of the times they faked it, they didn't really change out the offensive line or bring in a punting unit.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing they're going to go for it here with the ball on the 32. Kicking it wouldn't really get you a whole lot necessarily. You don't have the leg for a field goal, so you'll see what you can do here on 4th and 13, and I think the Blue Jays are going to call a timeout.
Yes, sir.
So that is their second timeout of the half.
Do you find that odd? They've taken 2 timeouts after 2 incompleted passes.
Yeah, well, in both cases, though.
It was going into a 4th down
going
scenario.
Into a 4th down scenario, and they wanted to try and figure out what they were going to do. Now, the first time didn't help them very much. They end up unable to complete. And that was with the ball on the Titan 5-yard line, 4th and goal.
You know, we were talking about Fosnow not being the prototypical body type for playing that DN position. Have you seen the arms on that kid?
Well,
he's got long arms. I mean, his wingspan is something else, and I'm sure that's what Coach Parks was all excited about with that kid. You know, we were talking about how he grabs kids and holds on and doesn't let them go, and you know, that's the first time I've actually seen him on this side of the field where I could get a look at the wingspan, and he's an athlete, man. I'm telling you.
It's an interesting look, and he's in there now on defensive end because, you know, you've got Swan and Jones at the other ends along with Ford. Very different styles of play, shall we say. 4th down and 13. Leninger back to throw, looking right side. Got plenty of time. Now he's getting pressured. He throws as he was hit, and it is intercepted. Picked off by the Titans. Headed up the 25. This is Haney coming to the 40, being chased. Caught from behind, but breaks the tackle to the 35-20, to the 15, 10-5, a pick 6 for the Titans. 95 yards. Brian Haney for the second time taking it to the house for the Titans. They lead it 13-0 with the extra point to come.
My friend, that was as nice as the punt return. Again,
how did that guy not tackle him when he grabbed him from behind?
Well,
like
he
that?
had him. I mean, and Brian just was strong enough to fight out of the grab and the tackle and ran through it. I mean, just that's all the extra work in the weight room in the off season. That's the difference. That's how you do that.
Well, that is also how you redeem yourself after giving up a 30-yard pass when it was 1st and 25.
I think he did just fine.
Yeah, they'll take that any day. Hannah out for the extra point. Abercrombie with the hold out of the snap of Greer. Snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, and it is good. 10:22 to go, first half. The Titans on 2 long returns, one a punt return, one an interception return from Brian Haney. They lead it 14-0. We'll be back with the kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
It has been the Brian Haney Show. See what happens when he plays a game when KU's not playing at the same time and he has to broadcast at the same time?
Well, he's saving energy. That's the reason he's able to do that. So.
48-yard punt return and a 95-yard interception return. You know, the funny thing was when he first picked that off, it was on a 4th down play, and I was thinking at the time, you know, it might have been better if he just let it drop because we would have had the ball back at the original line of scrimmage. But he
did a nice job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go so far as to say that he, you know, looked ahead of him and knew he was going to score a touchdown, or even that
he had to work for it.
Yeah, or even that he was going to even get back to the line of, you know, scrimmage. But you just, you know, as a defensive back, you want to give it your shot.
I just got one question for our intern. Did you get it all on tape, on the camera? Good job, Ben.
Kickoff comes down at the 7, up the far sideline with some running room, and a pretty good return here, down to the 40, 35, to the 20, and forced out of bounds down at the 11-yard line. That was not Dennis. That was Wenson, it looks like, on the return.
Is that the punter?
Yeah. I told you he's also a receiver.
Yes.
And one of their returners.
That's a nice return.
Yeah, it really was. And so for the second time, the Blue Jays are going to get field position starting in the red zone. One after a fumble, and this time on a roughly 83-yard kickoff return.
That definitely quieted the home crowd down, didn't it?
I'd say so. 10-11 to go here in the first half.
Good job.
Leninger in the pistol formation. Williams behind him. He'll get the give on the right side. Smacked right as he got to the line. Nice tackle as Wyatt Ramsey came up and stuck him pretty good for no gain. Second down. Second and this couldn't be goal because the ball.
It was on the 10, so it is second and goal.
Okay, I didn't think they gave him the 10 on the original.
Yep, they gave him the 10 on the spot. I was going to say
that wasn't the right spot, but works out well for us, I suppose. Leninger throws and overthrows his man as he was looking for Amarazi. He was hit and tackled as soon as the ball got there anyway, but was a little overthrown. It'll be a third down and goal from the 11, presumably in 4-down territory. I don't know. Maybe the Blue Jays would want to get on the board if they do end up with
we got
fourth
a penalty.
Down. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be
a little further back.
A holding call will push them back to the 22. So it must have happened about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll still be second down, though. Second and goal from the 22. Well, if they were watching Titan tapes from this season, they would know they're still in scoring range. At least from week 1.
Yeah.
And, of course, we saw them convert a 1st and 25 earlier in the game. Leninger back to throw. He steps up in the pocket, and he tosses it to Williams. Williams with the swing pass, trying to get inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown. Touchdown, Blue Jays. I'm just going to suggest this right now. We should stop giving them
suggestions.
No, we should stop giving them plays in which they have more than 20 yards to go, because every time we have, they've converted it. This time they scored on it.
I'll tell you what, Leninger did a nice job of holding on that ball to the last minute and dumping it to Williams. I thought he was going to pull it down and run it himself.
Yeah, and so did I, and that was just a little safety valve as Porter out for the extra point. Snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, and it is good. 9:11 to go after a very long 83-yard kickoff return from Anthony Wenson. The Blue Jays able to score and cut the lead in half, 14-7. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this on Titan Football, presentation of Ackport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Fall is upon us, and so is the time to tune up that furnace. Don't miss the $49 special from Neil Harris Heating Service Experts. That's right, get your system tuned up for just $49, and you don't even have to be a Service Experts Advantage program member. Call 816-629-5343. That's 816-629-5343, or schedule online at any time at neilharrisserviceexperts.com. That's neilharrisserviceexperts.com, and get ready for winter today.
We are back at Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files. Well, if you thought this was going to be another cakewalk for the Titans, Liberty says no as they get on the board with what turned out to be a 22-yard touchdown pass from Leninger to Williams.
It is Class 6 football. You got to come and play, every minute, every quarter, each week.
So Lucas Porter with the ball teed up on the left hash mark at the 40-yard line. Coble and Haney back deep. for the Titans, and the kick is going to be short. Bit of a pooch kick. It will bounce. And it's live, so it's right there at the 22-yard line. The Titans try to jump on it. We're waiting to see the indication. Liberty says it's theirs. Let's see what the officials say. The officials say Titan football at the 21. Boy, took a good bounce for the Blue Jays.
That it did, and
they were lucky.
They were real lucky. I'm going to put who do you think recovered that?
I have no clue.
I'm going to give it to 81. Just
okay.
On Trevor Ford for getting there. So
why not? Well, somebody with strong arms because he was surrounded by white jerseys and managed to apparently keep a hold of it. 1st and 10 Titans from their own 21. They have not really seen their offense get all that untracked today.
This would be a good time to do it. About a 9-minute drive. What do you say?
Well, they start out in the Wildcat formation with Mayo, and it's Hines throwing it for Coble, and it was over his head. He threw a little too quick, I think, for Brock. He hadn't really got his head turned around, and he was probably lucky that wasn't picked off.
Well, and again, that's a timing route, and you got to get the ball there so that the receiver's ready for it. But, Hines, he threw it to a dead spot, which was probably not a bad place to place it.
Harden will come back in. On that particular play, you had Hines out there, and I believe it was Surratt and Miller he was in between. So he could have conceivably gone either, keep it himself or hand it off, but he tried the little wrinkle with the throw. Harden with the give. Surratt left side, breaks the tackle, gets up to the 25. It'll be a pickup of 4, but it'll set up a 3rd down and somewhat long 3rd and 6 for the Titans from there.
The coaching staff's trying to set up that run-pass option when they got Hines in there. So Hines is learning that position, and it's going to take a little bit for him to get comfortable.
Titans went no huddle, but they look to the sideline for the play. Now they're in the pistol with Surratt behind Harden. H-backs on the right side, Twins as well. And it'll be a give up the middle. Surratt, and he will fail to get to the 30, and it'll be 4th down and about 2. Do you go for it on your own 29, ahead by 7?
I think not.
Seem to be sending the punting unit in. It's an interesting play call on 3rd down and 6, and you just do an inside give. That's a lot to ask out of Jackson Surratt, and your offensive line for that matter as well.
It's all right. It's about keeping the clock moving, because Liberty's got a little bit of the momentum right here.
8 minutes and counting. Sweeney kicks it away. Pretty good kick. And unfortunately takes a Blue Jay bounce, goes down to the 43 where it is downed by Brian Haney. And that is where the Blue Jays will take over 1st and 10 from their own 43. 7:49 to go first half. Titans hanging on to a 7-point lead at 14-7.
Titans were fortunate that ball did check up and went towards the sidelines instead of rolling back down the field.
Looks like they're going to take their water break here.
Water.
It is cooling off at least a little bit now that the sun's down. That's nice, but still.
Went from 90 degrees at game time to a nice, balmy, cool 84 degrees.
The autumnal equinox is Wednesday.
The autumnal equinox, easy for me to say. Is that in Iowa? Is that a town in Iowa?
No.
Oh,
although I've always thought the spring one would make a good name for a boy.
What's that?
Vernal equinox.
Vernal equinox.
If you had I was going to say if you had a boy, but you do.
I do.
If you had another one.
Yeah.
Would you think about vernal equinox files? What do you think?
No, I think I'd probably get voted down on that one.
What do you think, intern? Do you think at school a kid would get made fun of if his name was Vernal Equinox? Maybe a little?
Speaking of names, did you see the name of the quarterback at Joplin High School?
I did not.
His first name is Alwiz, and his last name is Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T.
And his parents decided to name him Always. You got to love that. Williams on the give, over right tackle with a blocker in front of him, breaks through across midfield to about the Titan 47, a pickup of 10, 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. One of the better runs from scrimmage today from Williams.
Okay, we're starting to see a tired defense from the Titans here. So just like we were talking earlier, it is important for them to try to contain the Blue Jays here and get the offense back on the field and see if they can't catch a blow.
Yeah, at this point, they may already be in 4-down territory, too, which makes it that much harder. Man in motion, H-back to the left side. They'll give it to Williams trying to look left side. Great penetration, Ely, along with a pair of other Titans, as Bowers and Wyatt Ramsey over there as well. A loss of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 14 from there.
Yeah, Williams' strength is not going to the sidelines on a sweep. It is running between the tackles, going north and south.
Well, and you talked about the way that he's usually no nonsense and just hits what he can get. That time he made the mistake of hoping for a hole to develop, and all it really did was give the Titans defense a chance to get him further back in the backfield.
And what do we talk about?
With no momentum
defense?
either.
Yeah, we talk about Titans' defensive speed, from sideline to sideline. Really fast this year.
On the play action, roll into the right side, and taken down Leninger. No gain on the play. I guess it won't technically be a sack, but that all Noah Jones was able to get penetration and chase him down.
Noah Jones is going to get a sack on
Okay.
the stats, and then we'll adjust after we watch the game film and see where he ends up.
It's right about the line of scrimmage. I'd say he lost about 3/4 of a centimeter, so that's a sack.
That's a loss. It's a sack.
We're going to go with that. That's our story.
And we're sticking to it.
And we're sticking to it. Clock running with 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Titans on top 14-7.
If you're going to err in favor of the home team.
Twins on the left side. One on the right. Pistol formation for the Blue Jays. Back to throw on 3rd down. Leninger will air one out down the middle. And it's incomplete. Double covered on the play was Dennis. And over there, really, Bowers and Grauberger were just right stride for stride, to the point where Dennis really stopped even going after the ball.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the defense there of having him bookend, so to speak, and didn't give him much room to work towards the ball.
And with the loss, making it 4th and 14, no 4-down territory here. Ball's on the Titan side of the 50-yard line, on the Blue Jay side of the 50-yard line, the Blue Jay 49. Wenson, and he will kick it away on the rugby-style kick. Haney goes back. He will field it at like the 3-yard line and gets to the 10 and to the 14. You got to say that if you're Brian Haney on a day like today, you can't really blame him for giving it a try. It was not the smartest play in the world, because all he's got to do is let that go into the end zone and the Titans get it at the 20. But if you've already got a 48-yard touchdown on a punt return and a 95-yard interception return, you say, give me the ball and let's see what I can do.
Hey, you got 11 yards on the return. He was just 6 shy of getting to the 20-yard line. So, yes, Coach Cole will get after him on that, I'm sure. Let him know, hey, you need to let that go next time. But you're right. The night he's having, he's looking for the snake eyes, I guarantee it.
Harden from the pistol. On 1st and 10, gives Surratt, spins around one tackle, and gets up to the 20-yard line, pick up a 6. So it'll be 2nd down and 4 from there as Jackson finishes the job of getting it out to the 20-yard line.
Go.
It's just that it's 2nd down instead of 1st.
You know, the best part about offenses like this,
Yep.
it's a fast football game, my friend.
They have been at that. 5 minutes and counting here in the first half. And that's with Liberty already taking 2 of their 3 timeouts, too. Man in motion, Hines on the direct snap will look for some room up the middle, breaks the tackle, and he'll get across the 25 to the 26. It'll be good for a 1st down as Jaden Hines on the Wildcat formation able to move the chains. And like you were talking about before, they really need this offense for a sustained drive. Yeah, it's the Titans are ahead and they're playing okay, but at the same time they haven't had a whole lot of time of possession.
Yeah, and it's a hot night tonight, and that defense we're going to need their legs in the second half for sure.
On play action, Harden always hit in the backfield and sacked. A good job coming off of his block by Ratchie. Logan Ratchey, number 24 on the Blue Jays, who, just basically came off a block and was once he did that was right in Harden's face after the play action had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was a combination missed assignment, slow developing play, all the above.
This was one time I was glad I asked because his name is spelled Rathjen or Rathjen.
Rathjen.
But it's pronounced Ratchey.
Okay.
That's what I was told anyway. So it'll be second down, about 24. That doesn't stop the Blue Jays. We'll see what happens with the Titans. Here's Hines on the catch. Not much there, up to maybe the 12. No gain on the play. It'll be third down and long. Trying the wide receiver screen, but, for that to work, there's two things that have to happen. First of all, you have to really have at least as many other blockers up there as you have defenders, and they didn't. And second of all, they have to block.
That's right.
And neither one of those things happened.
Exactly.
On that particular play. So
it's called that mesh point for the you got to have enough blockers to take on the defenders, and it just did not mesh on that particular play.
On third and long, trying to set up a screen, and it's batted away. Nice play from the defensive line. Stepping up was Jacob Strike. And it'll be a punting situation, so unfortunately, as it turns out, it ends up being, not quite a 3-and-out, but a 1 first down and out.
Yeah.
Which is not something you wanted to see, although clock is down to 3:06. It stopped on the incomplete pass, and Liberty only has the 1 timeout. Still plenty of time, though. Plus, Ramsey's going to have to kick out of his own end zone here. About halfway deep. It's a good snap and a good kick. High and deep, and Dennis lets it bounce, and it'll go across the 50-yard line and is stopped by Haney. Somebody needs to tell Brian that when the ball's bouncing away,
let it roll.
Yeah, let it keep bouncing.
I'll be honest with you. I thought, one of the guys, Haney's or who else was down there was 7.
The first guy down had touched it.
I thought he did. I thought Bowers had touched it.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I can see why you would have thought that. Been better if Dennis had touched it.
You betcha.
So under 3 minutes to go. Titans on top by a touchdown. 14-7 our score. They come out in a pistol. Williams behind and slightly to the left of Leninger. And he will throw it on the swing pass out to Dennis. He is hit and forced out of bounds. Haney, who steps up on the play. And again, it's sort of the same situation as the Titans, where in that case it wasn't a numbers situation, but the guy in front of him just didn't put a block on.
You see where they ended up putting that ball down?
Yeah.
So I guess Bowers did touch that ball.
No, yeah.
They moved him forward.
Yeah, they did. You're right. And he must have. So, yeah, he was original touch. So at any rate, the ball is in Titan territory at the 48. It was a loss of 1. Second down and 11. Clock stop with 2:51 left to go. Leninger from the pistol again, and back to throw. He's looking right side. He'll air it out down the far sideline. Incomplete, just in and out of the hands of Dennis. That was probably a catchable ball. Wouldn't have been an easy catch, but he got hands on it. And it'll set up a third down.
Okay, we had Haney in coverage there, and he gave him a little bit too much a cushion. Even though he was closing in on him, I'd like for him to be at least 2 more steps closer to the receiver when he's getting ready to make a play like that.
So it'll be third and 11. 2:45 in the half. Titans on top 14-7. Again from a pistol formation. Leninger on play action. He's swarmed under and sacked. 4 Titans over there. As Fosnow along with Woods and a couple of other Titans. Sweeney in the back as well. And Noah Jones all combine to sack the quarterback Leninger before he had a chance to try and air one out. It'll be fourth down. I don't know if I assume they'll punt from here. The Titans think so too because they called timeout. save some of the clock.
Somebody turned a skunk loose here, boys.
I was wondering about that.
We may have to send our intern down there to investigate. Where did it come from? You got your bag and your pan, and I'll give you an ink pen. You go down there and hunt a skunk. You ready to go hunt a skunk?
If you can throw something over it, it won't spray.
Just make sure you're looking at it eye to eye before you toss something on it. Okay.
Just proposition it. Pepe Le Pew.
Oui, oui.
So it looks like they're going to go for it here. Interesting choice. That was the Titans' first time out. 4th down and 13. Leninger back to throw. He's getting a rush. Swings it out again for Williams. Can they stop him? They force him out of bounds, and they will stop him shy of the first down by about 1.5 yards, 2 yards. He needed to get to the 37 and was knocked out of bounds at the 39. The Titans will take over 1st and 10.
Another nice play by number 11 in your program.
Well, it
Mr.
worked.
Haney.
That was their touchdown play.
Yes.
Although this time it was less improvised and more designed. But the Titans were a little more ready for it that time because, they were just basically you had your defenders standing on the yard to gain and just waiting for them to throw the ball underneath. Once they did, the question is, can they tackle Williams? And they could.
That was a nice job of that bend, do not break philosophy on the defense. Now, the Titans, you try to get some points here?
I would. The run is from Hines on the direct snap, trying to get around the right side, and he gets out of bounds up near midfield. It'll be a pickup of 11, 1st and 10 for the Titans.
That's a nice start. Gets out of bounds, saves a timeout or two.
You got 2 timeouts left, and plenty of time, 2:22 left to go. Titans get up quickly, even though the clock was stopped. And it's a give to Mayo up the middle. He's got a big hole, and he bowls his way across the yard to gain the 40 to the 38. They stop the clock to move the chains. 2:17 left to go. Still Hines taking the snap, and it's a give again. Mayo, right side. He makes a move. He gets across the 30 down to about the 28. It's going to be another first down run. It's about 3 straight runs for around 10, 11 yards for the Titans. 2 from Mayo, 1 from Hines. Clock stopped with 2:08 left to go. Titans seem to have found something with this hurry up. And it's going to be Hines on the quarterback draw. Oh, he lost the football. The ball's on the turf, and it's going to be Blue Jay football. As a second straight series where Jacob Strike makes a good play, number 58, to fall on that ball. But it was Hines. I don't know exactly. It seemed like he was confused about what the play was.
Well, he was looking for a hole, trying to make a play, and it got punched out.
Yeah, and he just was, but that's the thing, is he was just sort of standing there.
Yes.
Which you can't, when you're playing football, you got to be playing football the whole time. You can't ever assume that things aren't, that somebody's not right there to smack you.
And I was just getting ready to talk about Mayo carrying that ball like a loaf of bread. You need that, up close, tight to the body, and lo and behold, it was Hines that one fell victim and not protecting the ball.
Second turnover for the Titans on a fumble. They were able to escape the first time. They ended up with a 1st and goal in the 5, but the Blue Jays couldn't actually score on it. Now it's an end-around reverse and a good tackle on Wenson.
It looked like that might have been a face mask.
No flag that I saw. Or maybe is there? Wenson is definitely holding his head. And they're calling it the personal foul face mask.
Yeah.
Now, even though he did get face masked, I don't think that you're allowed to pull your helmet off like that and still stay in, but I don't know whether they're going to.
Well, Ely, he didn't intentionally grab the face mask, but he got it.
Yeah.
And he twisted it on the runner's head. So he does get a chance to replace that helmet and get it back on straight.
Apparently, because he did. After the penalty, the ball at midfield, 1st and 10, minute 51 to go. Blue Jays do have a timeout. Otherwise, it would have been a pretty good play.
Oh, heck yeah.
1st and 10, pistol formation. Williams to the left, and on play action back to throw. Leninger with time, throws over the middle. He's got a man. It is caught hit and twisting forward across the 25 to about the 24 was Carbajal. And it'll be another first down play, 26 yards on the catch. 1st and 10, 90 seconds to go in the half. Blue Jays looking to try and tie it up. They give it to Williams up the middle. He's hit and tackled as he gets to the 21-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. Clock is running with 1:17 to go. 2nd down and about 6 or so from there. It's inside the 21, just outside the 20, and they need to get just inside the 15. Coming up on a minute left to go. Again, 1 timeout for the Blue Jays. Lininger on play action, rolls to the right side with time. He will pull it down and run it. Gets inside the 10, or right at the 10-yard line. It'll be good for a first down, a pickup of probably about 11 on the play. They stop the clock to move the chains. 50.8 seconds left to go when they get it started up again. And looks like Liberty's going to call their last timeout.
Well, it's we got some tired defenders out there.
Yeah, it actually helps us a little bit getting the timeout.
Getting the timeout and get some wind, get some water in there. It's
well, you're talking about bend and don't break. If the Titans can keep them out of the end zone, then they can go to the locker room with a lead, and they get the ball to come out in the second half.
But the offense has got to figure out how to, 1, protect the football, and 2, get something beyond those runs inside the tackle. I mean, they got to get it. It's not about being creative. It's just about execution right now.
Yeah, there hasn't been a passing game.
Yeah.
And
Jameson struggled on the fake with the bootleg.
Mm-hmm.
He's not been elusive. I mean, he's kind of just run right into the tackles and hadn't fought away from them.
1st and goal for the Blue Jays from right at the 10-yard line.
But boy, the Titans were moving with handing it off to Mayo, and then you had the turnover. So it is not a lost cause. It's just execution and protecting the ball in the second half.
Lininger will give Williams right tackle. He breaks the tackle in toward the end zone. Touchdown.
That was a nice run.
10 yards in about 5 seconds on the feet of Wentrick Williams. And with an extra point, the Blue Jays will have tied it up with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Porter out for the attempt. Out of the hold of Kuchta, who is their backup quarterback. Snap back, ball down, kick up. It is high, long, and it is good. So with 45.9 seconds left to go in the first half, we haven't solved a thing. 14-all is our score. Liberty and Lee Summit West back with a kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Liberty, 14-all. With 45 seconds to go in the half. The Titans have never trailed in the game, but they had a 7-0 and 14-7 lead. They were 14-0 at one point and have seen that evaporate.
And nice test for the Titans here to start the second half. Let's see if they can take care of the ball here and maybe get a big Haney return. Better yet, you want to make sure if they kick that pooch again,
I was just going to say,
somebody's there to cover it.
What do you think the chances are Brian Haney sees this football?
He's not going to see it. Unless they happen to move him up in the front of the line there, but they didn't.
Well, they moved Coble up just in case of a pooch, I guess. And it's a squib down the middle. And they do give it to Haney, who comes up And at the 35 or 33, he's hit and tackled. And the Titans will take over 1st and 10. We were talking before when there was 2 minutes left to go and they had the ball, and I said, they go for points. Now it's a tie game, but you are going to get the ball coming out in the second half. What do you do in this situation? I think you do have one timeout left. But, do you air it out and take the chance there's going to be an interception and that you could lose the lead?
No, you don't air it out. You hand it off to Surratt and protect that ball and just run the clock out.
That is what they do right side. Jackson Surratt cuts up the middle, hitting tackle as he gets to the 41. It'll be a pickup of 8, 2nd down and 2. Clock running with half a minute left to go. Titans go hurry up. Snap and another give to Surratt. Left side coming up next on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
Fall is upon us, and so is the time to tune up that furnace. Don't miss the $49 special from Neil Harris Heating Service Experts. That's right, get your system tuned up for just $49, and you don't even have to be a Service Experts Advantage program member. Call 816-629-5343. That's 816-629-5343, or schedule online at any time at neilharrisserviceexperts.com. That's neilharrisserviceexperts.com, and get ready for winter today.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files here on Titan Football. As Lee Summit West all knotted up with Liberty. They had a 14-0 lead, saw it evaporate. And we are at halftime. Haven't solved anything yet. Mark has some halftime numbers for you.
Total offense for the visitors from Liberty. The Blue Jays have 139 yards of total offense. The Titans have 74. Liberty's run 34 plays to the Titans' 20 on offense. Yards per play, Liberty 4.1, the Titans 3.7. Passing yards, here's where the difference is in the yardage, of course. 89 yards in passing for Liberty. Lee Summit West has 5. Liberty is 7 of 13 through the air for a 12.7 yard average. They've got 1 touchdown through the air, and then, of course, the interception. They have 50 yards on the ground on 21 attempts. The Titans have 69 yards on the ground on 15 attempts. Punts, it's even. Liberty's got 3 punts, averaging 36 yards a punt. The Titans have got 3 punts, they're averaging 34 yards a punt.
What Liberty doesn't have is a 48-yard punt return for a touchdown, though.
That's exactly right.
The thing, although both teams have scored a touchdown on a turnover, so Haney has the 95-yard pick six, and then they scored on on the fumble. They eventually scored a touchdown on that.
Well, here's an interesting stat. We're talking about third down conversions and talking about the offense and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Liberty's 2 of 9 on third down. They're 1 of 4 on fourth down. The Titans are 0 for 3 on third down themselves. So first downs, 10 for Liberty, 6 for the Titans. We can look at some individual numbers, but right now the leaders are going to be Williams for Liberty with 48 yards rushing and Surratt with 41 yards rushing as well.
Well, and the thing about it, and we talked about this a little bit. It was obviously good for the Titans that they were able to get on the board early with that punt return, but they went most of the first quarter, about 60% or so of the first quarter, before they ever touched the ball on offense, and they never have gotten on track. They've never really. Their offense has had some positive yards and some negative plays, and they've lost a couple of fumbles and all that other stuff, but they have not looked like they're just firing on all cylinders really at any point in this game.
Offensively they're just not there. Titans got the ball the first time they touched it was at the 5:42 mark in the first period.
They are 29 seconds away from halftime at Park Hill. It is now 26-0.
I wonder if they got caught up in some of that rain and had a little bit of delay.
There are 26 seconds to go in the second quarter. They shouldn't be. It wouldn't have been that long of a delay because, this scoring that I'm is sometimes a little off. A little behind. So I doubt it, but you never know. Oak Park 7-0 on top of Belton right now. That's a first quarter score, but it's a little surprising with Belton doing so well this year. Over on the Kansas side, Blue Valley. Well, actually, I guess this is crossover. Blue Valley Northwest and St. Joe Central. Northwest all over them, 42-0. Blue Valley North on top of Blue Valley Southwest, 33-7 at halftime. Baser Linwood, 2014 over Center. Scoreless Cameron and Chillicothe. Sumner, 26-0 over East. Bonner Springs and Eudora, 34-14 at halftime. They're at half in Warrensburg, 22-14 Harrisonville.
That's a big game there.
Over Warrensburg. Holden, 16-0 over Crest Ridge. Kearney and Ruskin. Kearney's got the 14-0 lead there. That's an early score. No score, Knob Noster and the Agape?
I don't know.
Shawnee Heights Lansing, 10-7 Lansing over Shawnee Heights at half. That's Topeka, isn't it, Shawnee Heights?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And let's see, Olathe North, Florence Free State. That's a big game. Olathe North has the 7-0 lead at halftime there. They are 8-8, Leavenworth and Piper. Blue Valley all over Lee Summit. How about what's Lee Summit doing playing Blue Valley this week?
They had an open date in the schedule, apparently.
Just a few seconds in front of halftime. It's 50-20 in that game. Both teams apparently trying to outscore the other.
Did you see the Raymore Peculiar Lee Summit North score?
Let's see. Look if I can get to it. When Mill Valley 41-10 over Shawnee Mission East. That's a final. Shawnee Mission Northwest 17-7 over Olathe East. 49-0 Olathe West, Shawnee Mission South. Park Hill South 28-13 over William Chrisman. Well, there you go. Ray Peck, Lee Summit North 13-7 Broncos over Ray Peck. That score is just before the half. And Rockhurst 7-0 on Blue Springs South in the third quarter there. Speaking of third quarters, we're just about set to go with ours. 14-all is our score. The ball trying to tee it up anyway over on the left hash mark.
You're hearing that Rockhurst score? They've got to have some kids hurt because they're normally a little more dynamic than that on offense.
So we'll see what happens here. Titans get the ball. They deferred after winning the opening toss. The kick is a high, deep one, and it will go into the end zone to Coble for a touchback.
We got a nice cool breeze here.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the old radar and see what we got coming our way, because there was a front rolling through.
I was going to say we may.
There's nothing on the radar.
Okay.
Oh, maybe there is, but it's all up north of Liberty and up around 36 Highway is where it is. But it's all dying away. No rain to stop us.
So if this had been a home game, then first of all, we wouldn't be there.
That's
and
right.
Second of all, there could have been a delay. So we'll see whether or not the Titans, sometimes when you come out for the second half after having a difficult first half, it's not that the Liberty defense was playing so well. It's just that the Titans really weren't doing anything. They were just not exactly on, in sync, so to speak. As Surratt goes off right tackle for 6 yards, it'll be 2nd down and 4.
That's a great start.
Yeah, what the Titans really need is a nice sustained drive. We haven't seen any of those this game so far for Lee Summit West. They've moved the ball at times, but no big drives, and all of their points have not come on offense. Both for Brian Haney long returns, one a punt return, the other an interception return. 2nd down, about 4. Give again, Surratt trying to get around right tackle. He was knocked down as he got up near the 30, probably close to the 28-29. It'll be just a bit shy. 2 yards shy, 3rd down. Just underway in the 3rd quarter. 14 all our score.
That's a long one, man.
Yeah.
That's almost a full 2.
I call it 3rd.
Yeah,
I call it 3rd. Well, it's a good 1.5 yards anyway. We'll see if they keep it on the ground here. 5-man front. And they do try and go up the middle, and Surratt was tripped up. He tripped over one of his own linemen as Nehan's got pushed back in the backfield. And the Titans are going to go 3 and out, assuming they don't fake a punt here or something like that. That is, oddly enough, what Liberty did on their first possession and got called for a penalty, which then led to the 48-yard punt return for a touchdown by Brian Haney, who later had a 95-yard pick 6. Sweeney stepped on his own 11-yard line. It's a good snap, and he'll step into it. Kicking into the wind, it looks like, and a fair catch called for and made at the 48-yard line by Dennis. And so good field position for the Blue Jays, and the Titan defense, which, as you said, has got to be, a bit running out of gas toward the end of that first half. Hopefully this halftime has allowed them to catch their breath a little bit.
In the locker room, you get a little Gatorade, you get a little orange slices, you get a little PB&J to get your energy level back up, and you come out and be ready to go.
Are you allowed a little Red Bull?
No. No Red Bull. Not the right thing for an athlete.
It is when you're in a beer league.
Yeah.
I always call it my performance-enhancing drug. As Williams goes up the middle for about 5 or 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Into Titan territory at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, these young bucks definitely do not need to be doing Red Bull. With as hot as it is and all those gears on, you can't get that heart rate down. It's the biggest problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, you remember a while back before they outlawed the ephedra stuff?
Yes.
And that was a big problem, especially for athletes. As Williams hit the backfield and taken down back across midfield at the 48, lost the same 6 yards as he gained. They may give him no, not really. Back at the 48-yard line, it'll be 3rd and 10. Great penetration by the Titans defensively.
Joel, we just got to get accustomed to the fact that we're watching some pretty darn good defenses. We don't give them enough credit. Both sides of the ball are playing well tonight.
Yeah. I would agree, although, like I said, I've not felt the whole time that the Titans offense was in sync with each other.
No, you're right. I mean, they just have not been able to get a sustained drive and put 3, 4, 5, 6 plays together.
Back to throw. Tossing, and Williams does make the catch, but that was a dangerous play, and he gets knocked down around midfield. It'll set up a 4th down and about 8 from there. We'll see what they do here. The ball from midfield. You'd think in a tie game you wouldn't want to go for it and turn the field position around, but who knows? Maybe they will.
Yeah, they're bringing in
Well, they bring
lean
the punting
and mean
team.
guys, the punting team. But you're right; they've got the wind at their back, so
Yeah.
they might as well take advantage of the wind and play the field possession game here in the third quarter.
Boy, Haney going back to stand inside his 10. I think he's under orders not to catch it.
I guess he's starting at the 5 so he can run up on it.
And
Now they're going to run again. They're going to go again.
And he's not going to make it.
Ooh.
Big hit as Hammond came up and gave Wenson pretty good pop.
Okay, Liberty's coaching staff has scouted something.
Yeah.
They've seen where the.
I don't think so. I think they have left it in Wenson's hands.
Okay.
The way I'm seeing him, he's a rugby-style kicker, so every time he snaps it, he starts running up with the ball.
Right.
And I think he's been told to look upfield. And if it seems like the other team is in coverage and just running back and you think you can get the first down, go for it. Otherwise, just kick it away.
Well, and they've given them the green light to do it
Yeah.
against the Titans because the Titans get out and they really do a nice job at jamming the outside flyers going down to cover the punt.
Direct snap. Hines trying to get around the right side with speed, but he's caught from behind. Then he ran into his own blocker. He might have been able to get back to the line of scrimmage had he not done that. But unfortunately, he was tackled by a blue jersey, and it's 2nd down and 12.
And that's what Hines has got to realize. He's got to not trying to keep getting to the sidelines. He's just got to get what he can inside the hash mark sometimes.
And the give up the middle. Nothing there for Surratt. That was supposed to be a read option, and probably not the right choice as it turned out. But I don't know if there's much they could have done with two guys penetrating into the backfield so much. So it'll be 3rd down and long, 3rd and about 15 after 2 straight losses.
They're running a little bit of a stunt on that defensive line, and the Titans on that right side are getting a little confused on who they're supposed to be blocking.
Harden with an empty backfield and quads on the left side. Back to throw, looking that direction, and he is caught from behind and tackled. Same guy once again. We keep calling out the same number, 58, Jacob Strike, who has made 3 pretty good plays in the backfield.
When you're a quarterback, when you're a quarterback like Harden is right there, you got to have a clock in your head going off. And once you get to that 3.5, 4 seconds in your head, you got to get rid of the ball.
Well, and I'm not so sure, by the way, that that's what the coaching staff of the Liberty Blue Jays are thinking in terms of going for it on some of these fake punts, is they have a lot of confidence in their defense. Dennis drops the football, and Haney grabs it out of midair, and the Titans will take over. A muffed punt, as there was a fair catch called for. But after Dennis touched it, it bounced out of his hands, and Haney just grabbed it out of midair. It'll go down as a fumble. And boy, well, how about that? What a day for Brian Haney in terms of you got a punt return for a touchdown, an interception for a touchdown, and obviously he's fallen down on the job because he didn't have any kind of a run back on that. Grabbing the muffed punt and no return on it, but the Titans take over 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 35. Huge break there for Lee Summit West.
Well, we'll give him 2 yards on the recovery. How's that?
Yeah, that's saying that's killing his average. Went from 95 yards to technically that was an interception, not a fumble. So
here's what I like.
Now they're talking about this. The officials, I guess, they may be trying to figure out whether or not
if there was interference.
Yeah, or if he actually gave the punt receiver the ability to catch the ball. Now the fact that the referee's going over to talk to the coach is a pretty good indication that it's going to stay tight in football.
Now here's what amazes me, and we'll talk to the clock operators about this after the game. That whole play took 1 second. There was 6:09, and it could be we got some lights out on the scoreboard clock.
No,
too.
it's 6:08.
So, it's 6:08 now, and I had it as 6:09 when that.
Well, it
play
couldn't have been
started,
any more than that because otherwise it'd have been in the 10s.
I know it.
Well, he's quick on the trigger. What can I say?
He's quick. He's wily.
Did he used to work for Staley?
No, but
no, I know.
I won't tell you. I won't tell you what our clock operator says about Staley. I'm not saying. I'm not going there.
Okay. Because I hear you can get 2 plays off in less than 4 seconds in Staley.
Yeah, but that's only in the fourth quarter at the end of the game.
No, in fourth overtime, not fourth quarter.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, no, it was the last seconds of the fourth quarter. 3-point whatever it was, and they got 2 plays off before a 4 overtime game that we had to go lose.
Yeah, that one still burns.
Yeah, could have won another.
The fall of 2011.
Could have won another NBA award, maybe.
Oh. You were in the nice, toasty, warm press box. I was on the sidelines that year, wasn't I?
I don't remember.
You were just warm, and they had an elevator. You were a happy man.
That's right. Well,
hey, how many times have we said we got an elevator here at home now? That's pretty cool.
I'm happy about it. And we have numbers I can see, unlike at Staley. So the Titans on the muff punt. It's Surratt up the middle on the first down play. Not much there. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a half a yard, second down and 11. So again, on 3 different types of plays, 1 on defense, 2 on special teams, but 1 on the receiving team and 1 on the kicking team. Haney has made some turnaround plays in this game. Here's Surratt going right side, breaks a tackle, and he does fall forward across the 35 down to about the 33. Titans probably in 4-down territory here, in that you're probably outside of Hannah's range at this point.
Well, especially since you're going to be kicking into the wind, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that front's just now rolled through. We got a nice breeze out of the northeast here blowing into our face. Feels pretty good.
That'll be good for the Titans. It's interesting that the Blue Jays decided to take the win in the third quarter and not the fourth. 3rd down and 8. Hardit. Play action. Back to throw. He'll throw over the middle. He's got a man, and he is open into the end zone. Touchdown. Brock Coble. Wide open down the far seam, or near seam, excuse me. And with 4:47 left to go here in the third quarter, the Titans retake the lead 20-14 with the extra point to come.
Nice job by Jamison Harden there.
We finally had some time.
They had some time. That's what exactly it came down. They ran it away from, what number is he that's tearing us up?
Strike
58.
58.
Yeah. So they ran it away from 58. They had the time and made the play. So I'm going to give Jamison an attaboy for that, because I've been kind of rough on him on holding the ball too long. But nice job there, and he is protecting the football. I will give him credit for that.
High snap, and the kick is blocked by Hanna. So it is no good. And the score remains 20-14, so only a 6-point lead for the Titans. As the Titans had a little trouble last week on special teams as far as extra points and field goals are concerned, that has extended over to this week, it looks like, as well. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this. 20-14 our score. Titans on top of the Blue Jays on Titan Football, a presentation of Backboard Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Fall is upon us, and so is the time to tune up that furnace. Don't miss the $49 special from Neil Harris Heating Service Experts. That's right, get your system tuned up for just $49, and you don't even have to be a Service Experts Advantage program member. Call 816-629-5343. That's 816-629-5343, or schedule online at any time at neilharrisserviceexperts.com. That's neilharrisserviceexperts.com, and get ready for winter today.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Liberty. Titans on top of the Blue Jays, 20-14, a 6-point lead after a mixed extra point. As Tucker Selby with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line right in the middle to kick it off into the wind. He kicks it high and short down at about the 15. Dennis trying to go on the left side, looking for the wall of blockers. He gets across the 30-35, forced out of bounds around the 40. We'll see where they mark him out at the 41. Good field position for the Blue Jays as they get the ball.
I'll give you 2 guesses on who knocked him out of bounds.
Well, since you put it that way, I'm thinking that it's a strange thing, so I'm going to go with Bill Warner.
No.
No?
No. His number's 11.
Ah. And he calls football games for the KU?
Yes, he does. Didn't want to give you too many hints.
Blue Jays 1st and 10. A quick throw. Oh, and a big hit, but he fights it off. Does Wenson, but still no gain on the play. He's actually going to lose a yard. It'll be second down and 11. As I tell you what.
Dooley drilled him.
Yeah, he came up, and like you said, smacked him pretty good. But he actually just pushed him right off. That looked a little less like, Williams' Greco-Roman style wrestling, and more along the lines of what they do in Hulk Hogan's days.
That's right.
But second down and 11, like you said, he couldn't get away from the follow-up, as Williams will head off a right tackle. Bowers with the tackle up near midfield. It'll be about 2 yards shy of the 48, set up a 3rd down and 3, gain of 8 on 2nd and 11.
Nice tackle by Bowers.
Yeah, taking a much bigger guy down. And he grabbed him up top, but still got him down. So big 3rd down play here, still shy of midfield. Williams is to the left and gets the give up the middle. He'll get the 1st down and more. Breaks the tackle inside the 30 and hit and knocked down a second straight time by Bowers, but this time inside the 25 down to the 22. Boy, he got a generous spot there. He was clearly down at the 25, and they gave him about 3 yards on the slide.
Yeah.
And they're going hurry up here are the Blue Jays. So a quick snap, throwing the ball, and on the near side the catch is made, but tackled immediately. Bowers' 3rd straight tackle as the pass to Amarazi, And we have got a penalty, I believe, on the Titans. Is it roughing the passer? I didn't catch the signal.
Yeah, and I didn't either.
It definitely wasn't on the coverage, I don't think.
No.
Let's see if it'll show it
Personal
again.
foul.
Yeah, it's a roughing the passer call. That's what I
yeah.
thought. So that'll be half the distance to the goal line, and it'll set up a 1st and goal. H-back to the left, Twins to the right. Surratt in the backfield in the pistol, gets the handoff, met in the backfield, and taken down for a loss. Guess who was in the backfield?
The Nemesis. How do you say that? Nemesis. No, I can't say it.
Nemesis. A loss of 3, 2nd down and 13. Strike is who we were talking about. Number 58 on the Blue Jays. Be 2nd down and 13. Titans go with trips on the right. Twins on the left. Now Surratt goes back into the backfield to the left of Harden from the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands off. Surratt trying to go up the middle. He's got a hole, and he'll get near the 25. Maybe about a yard shy at the 26. It'll set up a 3rd down. 3rd and about 4, maybe 5 from there. And interestingly, on 3rd and 5, Harden comes to the sideline. So they're going to go Wildcat here, although they have thrown out of it before. Hines taking the snap in the pistol with Surratt behind him. He's got trips on the right. 3rd down and 5, probably in 4-down territory. They keep it Hines. He's got nowhere to go, and he's able to spin away from one man, got what he could, down to about the 27, lost a yard. It'll be 4th and 6. Again, they're outside of field goal range. I don't think Hanna, even with the wind at his back, is going to be trying a 45-yard field goal.
No, you've got to try to work it in and get some get a 1st down here. Yardage is too tough to come by here when you're this close. You gotta go for it on 4th and 6.
They're still going with the Wildcat though. This time Mayo to take the snap, although he's been more apt to throw than Hines. Surratt is behind him in the pistol, Twins on either side. Hines in motion. And it's a attempt at a reverse. The pitch was to Coble. He dropped it, fell on it, but the conversion is no good. as they lost yardage back to the 37, and the Blue Jays will take over with 8.5 minutes left to go in regulation time and ahead by a point, I should say.
That was an ugly play right there. I'm not sure.
It was not well executed. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, they just.
I don't know what they were eventually going to try and do. If Coble was going to run it on some sort of an end around, a reverse type situation, or if he might have tried to throw it. I don't know. You never know with Sterling.
Yeah.
But the Titans defense is going to need to step up here. Williams in the backfield, man in motion, Dennis. They give it to Williams up the middle. He's hit and tackled for no gain as Ford got a couple of hands on him from behind. 2nd and 10.
Defense going to have to step up. Going to have to hold it and see if we can't get a 3 and out here, guys, because a short field is going to really benefit this offense. They are struggling tonight.
Like I said, the good news is the wind is in the face of Liberty. If they were to have to punt it, it'll be hard for them to change the field position too much.
Yeah, but with their punter, heck, he's liable to run for it.
You never know. Does make it harder to defend, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. You got to stay home.
2nd and 10, and the throw down the seam, and it is intercepted. Guess who? Brian Haney. Back the other way from the 35, up the far sideline to the 40, 35, and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Brian Haney with his 2nd pick of the night. And that was just a poor decision by Leninger.
Yeah, and you know, there's no wind blowing right now. He just he threw it to the outside. The receiver misread or ran a different route. And yeah, it was just a bad toss. Bad pitch and catch, as they say.
It was great if he was trying to throw it to Haney.
Yeah. Haney made a great catch on it over the shoulder.
Yeah. They might want to start using him as a receiver. They did that in the first game or so.
Yeah, they did.
I think it's there just in case they need it, but at any rate. So big break for the Titans. They take over 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 31. Harden back in to take the snap in the pistol. Surratt behind him gets the handoff, trying to go left side, and there was nowhere to go. He was stopped, forward momentum stopped for no gain, maybe a yard loss. We'll call it 2nd down and 11 at the 32.
Loss of yard, 2nd and 11 for the Titans.
Yeah, the defensive line for Liberty has had their way with the offensive line tonight for sure for the West. They're doing a nice job with stunts. They're a nice job with their technique, and they're really jamming up the running lanes.
Surratt up the middle. That is where they've had their most success, is between the guards, right over center.
Yeah.
And he was able to pick up about 4 on 2nd and 11 and set up a 3rd down and, let's call it 5, 3rd and 6. Again in 4-down territory here.
3rd and 6 for the Titans.
But the last time they were in a situation similar to this, they lost yardage on 3rd down, which is not what you want to do, obviously. They go pistol again. Surratt behind Harden, who takes the snap and gives it to Surratt up the middle. He will get positive yardage across the 25 to, they're going to really only give him the 25, and set up a 4th down and about 4 from there. It's a short 4. They need the 21, but it really just a little shy of the 21. So it's a little closer to the 21 and a half. 4th down, obviously the Titans will go for it here. It would be a roughly 41-yard field goal. We'll see what they do. They keep Harden in the game. Will they go up the middle? It's Harden on play action. He's getting rushed, rolls to the right, throws to the right, and it is incomplete. Threw it behind the fullback, Sims, who was open, but it just, trying to throw on the run, and he couldn't make an accurate pass, could Harden. And the Titans, for the 2nd straight time, will throw it over on downs.
Yeah, that was Harden's got to locate the receiver sooner. That's what it comes down to. And once you locate that receiver, then you can get your mindset on where you're going to go with the ball. He was still indecisive on, am I going to run, am I going to scramble, or am I going to throw? And
he would not have gotten the first down if he tried to scramble.
Yeah, and that comes back to my point. He's got to go ahead and throw that ball downfield and let your receivers make a play. It's a trust thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't trust himself to hit that small window right there.
Well, and he didn't.
That's right.
I guess he has reason to. So we're getting the water break timeout here on the turnover on downs. Although I have to say that I didn't think that the spots were very good, or at least not very generous for the Titans. The one before the last play that put the ball on the 25 looked to me like Surratt had gotten to about the 24. Not that necessarily would have made any difference. But, they do sometimes have a bit of a cumulative effect over time.
They do.
So I wonder what Hannah's range actually is, because they're only down by a point. So had they tried a field goal and made it either one of the last two possessions, I don't know that he has a range of 40-plus yards, but I wonder what it is with the wind behind him. Williams trying the right side. The Titans step up and are able to tackle him. He'll get positive yards, though, across the 25 to about the 29. Hammond over there among others on the stop. Clock now under 5.5 minutes left to go. Titans with all three of their timeouts, so as do the Blue Jays.
Yeah, this is.
I would think if the ball was certainly on the 10, maybe the 15, and it was late in the game, and it was one of those situations where you're just trying to get the lead.
And the issue is they've tried field goals. Now, a couple of them have been blocked this year, and it's all a timing issue between the center and the holder.
Williams up the middle, working his way through, gets across the 30 to about the 32. It's going to set up a third and about 3.
So you're the Titans. When do you start using your timeouts?
No, not yet. I mean, it's just 5 minutes.
I'm bringing it up. I know we're just under 5 minutes.
There is going to be a timeout called now.
Official timeout. Injury on the field.
It's for an injury, actually.
Yeah. I think we got a cramp. I'm hoping that's what it is. It sure looked like he was grabbing his calf.
Yeah. Can't identify who it is. Because people are standing in front of me, unfortunately.
I'm looking to see if the running backs are where they're supposed to be. The quarterback's up and moving around. The receiver number 4 is.
Can't even tell how big the kid is.
Yeah.
It's Williams.
Williams. That's what I was doing a quick inventory, and that's who it looked like.
Yeah.
The way he's walking, I think that's.
It was just a cramp, like you said.
Cramp. Yeah.
But Wentrick will have to. That's important, though, because it was 3rd and 3, and he's going to have to take this play off unless the Blue Jays want to blow a timeout, get him back out there. So we'll see what they do.
Not a bad idea to give somebody with fresh legs.
Yeah.
A little change of pace.
Titans look like they're coming after him. That's play action, rolling to the right side and throwing down the near sideline, incomplete. Not sure he would have been inbounds anyway. Intended on the far side. There is a flag down, and it's holding against the Titans.
Holding against the Titans.
It was in the secondary. I think it was before he ever threw the ball. I think it was as that receiver was trying to go down the far sideline. The defender may have grabbed him.
Yeah, he did the check up step and then did the go route on him.
Well, it was one of those things that as you know the quarterback Leninger had rolled to the right and was thinking about running for the first down, and then as the pursuit caught up to him, he went ahead and threw it. But I think that the receiver had been sort of in a position to potentially block for him. And then when he saw that the quarterback might not be able to make it, he went on a route, and I think that took the cornerback by surprise. Yeah. So it gives them a first down up to the 42-yard line on the hold. Boy, the Titans looked like they were offsides there. They're pointing, but there was no whistle, so they'll take the snap. Williams back in the game, up the middle, and gains about 2. So Looked like he had broken the plane, but no call. We're down to 4:08 counting here in the fourth quarter. Titans trailing by a point, 21-20.
Yeah, I don't know what we missed there, and I don't know what the official missed, but you're right. I really thought that we were going to get them 3-5 yards.
Yeah. It was only a gain of a yard, so 2nd down and 9. You would imagine we'll see a steady dose of Williams here. Maybe Dennis. It's Williams again up the middle, and pretty good closure of the hole there by the Titans with Jones getting an arm on him, a gain of a couple maybe, and it's be 3rd down and 6 as the ball just across the 45. They need to get to the Titan 49, so it's 3rd and a short 6.
3:15 to play. Big play right here, Joel.
It is. In answer to your question about when do you start using the timeouts, if they get a first down here, that might be when you have to start using them.
And they're using that full 40-second play clock. They've got it down.
Yeah, they're going to
call.
They're going to use one of their timeouts as the play clock was down to about 2, and they stopped the clock with 3 minutes left to go. The thing is, like I said, they are kicking into the wind, but rugby-style kickers usually do a pretty good job on line drive kicks, assuming he does kick it, which I think that he should, if it comes up that way.
Well, it depends on how many yards they get here on 3rd down. You put Williams in there, he gets you 4 yards.
I don't care if he was 6 inches off of the first down. The way their defense is playing and the way our offense is not playing. Make the defense play. Yeah, you kick it away.
Right.
At least that would be me.
Yeah, and I don't even think you do the rugby style. I think you stay back there in your spot and just kick it.
I'd let him kick it rugby style, but I would tell him don't try. I mean, do whatever's most comfortable. If you like that rugby style kick it. But because into the wind, the rugby style can be a good way to do it.
Right.
Just make sure you kick it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the flags are just barely moving on the goalposts. So.
Yeah. So the wind that had picked up earlier may have died down. Although you never know. Sometimes up at altitude, it's a little windier. Big play here, though. We're speculating on something that may not even happen. Williams to the left of Leninger. He will take the throw down on the near side. It is caught, and a first down by Amarazi, excuse me. Big catch, and another set of downs for the Blue Jays.
Big time play.
So you don't take a timeout on this first down play because by the time they reset the clock, it was down to about 24 seconds on the play clock. Right. So you make them run this play, and then you might start thinking about it. Titans really don't want to be in the position where they got to throw for the game, but they may be at this point. Williams up the middle. He's going to break a tackle, and he will get another first down inside the 35 down to about the 33. You don't want to give up a bunch of yardage, but at the same time, it's actually kind of helpful for the Titans that he got that first down. Because, again, by the time they put the clock in motion, which they now have, there's only about 25 seconds left to go on the play clock. But there'll be less than 2 minutes to go when they snap this ball. And the Titans defense is going to have to start coming up with some stops, and turnover would be nice. They've gotten their share of those. Leninger give Williams up the middle. He was hit at the line, breaks the tackle, and gets down to the 28, and now the Titans will call a timeout. With 1:51 left to go, they burn their first. And do we have a flag down?
Yes, we do.
So maybe they won't burn a timeout. It's a personal foul, face mask on the Titans. So that's going to add 15 yards. Technically, it should only add 14 yards because they're inside the 30. But that wasn't the case the last time, so who knows. Ball's at the 28. It should take it down to the 14.
He's lost.
Yeah. They actually did put it down at the 14. So the Titans will not end up using their first timeout necessarily because, again, they start the clock with a 25-second clock there. But, again, the Titans are not stopping the Blue Jays here. It's Williams up the middle, and he breaks off of left tackle on his feet inside the 5, down to about the 2. And it'll be first and goal from there. Clock stopped for the moment with 1:30 seconds left to go.
Big time run by Williams, the senior leadership. He's been the workhorse tonight, done an excellent job.
And now the Titans will call their first timeout. Now there was 1:30 left to go. To me, they should put those 2 seconds back up on the clock because I'm sure that the Titans called the timeout before it started going again. Or at least that's probably what they wanted to do.
That's what they wanted to do, but they put it in play and then gave them the timeout.
You know, there is a school of thought that says down by a point.
Let them score?
Yeah.
And then go for it, and then they
and then
score 7, that makes it 8.
Yeah, that's an 8-point game. You're going to score a touchdown, go for 2. But it gives you that full 1:28 or so to do it, maybe 1:25.
Yeah.
Whereas if you try and stop them here and you end up giving it up anyway, all you've done is run out your time. But, with 2 timeouts, you can let them. I wouldn't do that quite yet. If we had no timeouts, I might.
Yeah.
But with 2 timeouts, if you can stop them. Although, based on the rest of this drive, don't know that they can. We'll see.
I'll tell you what, I'd run Mr. Williams between the tackles. I wouldn't
yeah.
let him go outside.
Absolutely. And that's what they do, right up the middle, and he
let him
walks
score.
right in. I don't know if that was a design play or if there just wasn't anybody there to block him.
That was awful easy.
Yeah. But like I said, I still think from a strategy standpoint, when you do have, it's nice to have the timeouts on offense, but you really don't need them.
Right.
And so, to me, I would rather burn them on defense and see, because you never know. He could fumble the ball, at least go 2 plays. And then maybe if you don't stop him, you let him score on the 3rd. The extra point is good. So it is an 8-point lead. Boy, the clock sure looks like it says 29, doesn't it?
It does.
But I think those are lights out.
Looks like it says F9.
1:25 left to go. Wow. Can the Titans come back? We'll find out. On Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files, Lee Summit West, trailing the Liberty Blue Jays 28-20, an 8-point deficit with 1:25 to go. So you think they're going to kick the ball right to Brian Haney?
You're a funny man. No way.
Boy, could you imagine, though, if that's what happens and he were to run it back for a touchdown, they get the 2-point conversion, and then they give it back to Liberty?
Something wouldn't happen.
Yeah, there's a flag down. I'm imagining somebody must have stepped over the line or something.
They weren't ready to begin. They hadn't given them the go.
It's possible they hadn't put the ball in play, but I don't know why they would throw a flag then. Oh, it's delay of game.
Oh, I guess you get 25 seconds.
Yeah,
to
you
get it
do.
Off, so.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I mean, it's not 25 from the end of the extra point, but once they do put it in play, there is a play clock. So that actually is good for the Titans. It makes it a lot harder. They'll most likely squib this then, because he may be kicking into the wind if there is any. It's certainly in his face as opposed to in his back. But he'd have a much harder time actually putting it into the end zone if he tries to kick it deep. I don't know if he can or not, but I doubt he'll try. The Titans certainly don't think that he's going to try. They're standing up at a 15-yard line, even their deep men. Back in the day, the Titans might have kicked it at an up back.
Yeah.
In a similar situation, and it is going to go into the end zone. So smart play by Coble.
Yeah, save time.
Yeah.
No reason to try to make something happen that.
I think they were hoping that it might go out of bounds.
Yeah. Well, I thought that's where it's going.
Yeah, that would have been the best case scenario for the Titans because you get it at the 40 in that situation. Actually, they would have gotten it at the 45. Actually, but unfortunately, the hop it took kept it in play. And again, without any real coverage, if Coble picks that up, in his best case scenario, he'd be lucky to get back to the 20. So.
Right.
Now, the big question is, what can the Titans do on offense? Not known for a passing offense. They got to go 80 yards in a minute 25. Harden has a man in motion, Hines. Takes the snap, looks left side. He'll throw left side. It is caught. They go across the middle and up to the 30-yard line. He did get the first down, did Miller, on the catch, which will stop the clock to move the chains. Minute 18. Hurry up offense for the Titans. And they give it to Surratt up the middle, and he's hit and tackled at the 30. The Titans do have 2 timeouts, and they'll take one of them there.
Yeah.
Don't know about that play call. Although, again, you can get away with it with the 2 timeouts. Now they only have 1.
Yeah.
Minute 9 left to go. The problem, though, is that, as you run out of timeouts, it doesn't just limit your ability to run the ball, it limits where you can throw the ball.
Sure.
Because, like, for example, on the first throw, after Miller caught it, he went up the middle.
Yes. Well,
and now, you got to be telling your receivers, if you catch the ball, try and get out of bounds.
Right. And, the one thing that when that play started, if you were watching close, Harden had his receiver go in motion. And here's what he's looking for. He's looking for to see what the defensive secondary is playing. Are they playing man? Or are they playing a zone against the offense? And, of course, they're playing zone, playing deep, playing it too deep. And so they knew where it was. So the receiver did a nice job, Miller did, of finding a hole. But you're right. He's got to get out of bounds.
They toss it back, and Coble juggled but kept it, and they're calling that an incomplete pass.
Wow, that sure looked like a lateral.
I was just going to say, I thought it was a backwards pass to me, but they're calling it incomplete. It will stop the clock with 1:04 left to go. 3rd down and 10.
Been a common theme tonight.
Coble has had
Third
a hard
and long.
Well, and Coble has had a hard time keeping his hands on. That's about the 3rd time that he's either juggled or somehow
just flat dropped it.
Had trouble with it. 3rd and 10. Harden from the pistol. Twins on either side. Takes the snap, and they're going to call. This is going to come back for a penalty. Swing pass to Surratt. And he gets up the middle. He does get the first down, but this is coming back on illegal motion. He just flinched a little early. I don't know why that wasn't a false start, though, because it looked to me like he was, set in the backfield and then flinched.
Well, yeah, and he's.
So why they allowed the play to run, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It's the same outcome. It'll be 3rd and 15. But, that actually does cost the Titans because it costs them the time of the play.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's the reason why it's interesting on how they call that.
I don't know why they, like I said, they didn't stop that before. It should have been a pre-play, foul.
Joel, we watch too much pro football, I'm telling you.
Well, I understand.
It's a game that's
So 3rd down and 15 after the penalty. And it is Harden throwing. He's got a man, and it is caught. Spinning his Coble. He really needed to get out of bounds. He stays inbounds. Now they will stop the clock to move the chain, so if the Titans hurry, they won't lose too much time. 40 seconds left to go. They put it in play. Harden, he'll spike it. Now, in the past, I've seen them call that intentional grounding.
Well, they've added that rule that allows the player to go ahead and spike it. It is an actual option.
So now it is a rule.
It is a
when
rule.
did they do that?
A couple years ago.
Okay. I'm glad they did because it's a dangerous thing otherwise. I mean, you could do it. All you'd have to do is throw it at the feet of the H-back or something like that, So 2nd and 10. Clock stopped with 38.5 seconds left to go. Harden again from the pistol, trips on the right this time. He's looking left side, throws left side, and incomplete. He was looking for Miller. And, of course, he's going to need time. Harden will.
He is your traditional pocket passer. And it's been a while since the Titans have had one of those.
Yep. So it is 3rd down and 10. Obviously, it's 4-down situation. 35 seconds left to go. And they do have one more timeout in case they do throw it over the middle and don't get a first down. Back to throw. Harden will throw over the middle. It is caught, and just shy of a first down, you got to call timeout. They didn't do it, though. They're continuing the play. It's 4th down and 1. I don't know why they didn't call timeout. Clock is still ticking down. It's down to 15 seconds. Now they finally call timeout. Boy, that cost him at least 10 seconds. Maybe more than that. At this point on 4th and 1 with only 13.5 seconds left to go, you've got two choices. You can throw a sideline. Well, you've still got the timeout. So you can get the first down and then go for the Hail Mary, or just say screw it and go for the Hail Mary now.
Well, you have to get out of bounds.
Well,
if you throw a pass. Yeah.
No, they didn't because they had a timeout.
Yeah, no, they
All
did.
they had to do is that they needed to call it.
Yep.
When it was 4th and 1 like that, like I said, you had to call the timeout as soon as he was down, and they didn't.
And why don't you have 2 plays called? Where the kids are smart enough to know.
Yeah.
You go up to the line. I mean, you run a.
Yeah, they clearly didn't
formation.
know. Well, they clearly didn't know what they were going to run. They were trying to look to the sideline and didn't get the play in. But again, as soon as that happened, they had to call the timeout, and they didn't.
No.
And it's probably going to cost them.
And that comes back with an inexperienced quarterback on Friday nights. I mean, if he's
but
got
again, the
experience,
coaches could have called timeout.
Right.
They should have.
Exactly right.
I'm more apt to say that was where the mistake was made. Harden back to throw on 4th down. Will throw. He's got a man, Coble, and he makes the catch.
Now you got to spike it.
Or call the timeout. 8.2 seconds left to go.
They're out of timeouts is the problem.
Oh, I thought they still had one.
Well, they may have one. It's like you and I both were trying to figure out if they got the timeout or not.
And they do spike it with 6.9 seconds left to go. Ball is on the 22-yard line. Wow. When did they use their 3rd timeout?
Well, I think when they got that penalty, I think that's when, or not, they used it on the series here. They used a timeout when there was a penalty.
They did use a timeout, but yeah.
So maybe I'm hoping you're right that there is one timeout left, but
I doubt it because the clock would show it.
Yeah.
But I just don't remember when they used it. And if that's the case and they never had the timeout, that would explain why they didn't call it.
Yeah.
So 2nd down, back to throw Harden with time. He'll throw. He's got a man toward the end zone, and it is incomplete. No flag. Boy, there was a lot of contact.
Yes, there was.
There's 1.8 seconds left to go. That really did look like pass interference to me, I got to say. The crowd seems to think so as well.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they just ruled it was an out-and-out uncatchable ball, but I don't even know that that's a rule in high school.
Yeah.
There was clearly contact.
Well, and the receiver was running backwards.
Yeah. One more try. This will be the last play of regulation time. Unless there's a penalty. Harden throws it into the end zone. It is knocked down, incomplete. Intended for Dickerson, and the game is over. And the Liberty Blue Jays have defeated the Lee Summit West Titans 28-20, the final score. They hand the Titans their first loss of the 2021 season. Certainly felt like a game the Titans could have won.
Oh, it started out like gangbusters, most definitely.
But when all is said and done, it was a game where it just felt like they were not able to execute. When it came down to it. It wasn't every play. It wasn't they played poorly or anything like that. They played well overall, but not well enough on some of the key plays. And really in that last drive defensively, and it could have just been they were that far gone, physically by then, because the Blue Jays had the ball for a lot of the game.
They had, and we talked about that early on in the first half. You're going to have some tired legs in that defense.
And that is what happened. So, at any rate, we'll take a break, wrap things up when we come back. Final score 28-20. The Titans lose it to the Blue Jays from Liberty. This is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state. The Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit West, and Liberty. The Blue Jays beat the Titans 28-20, our final score tonight. First loss of the season for the Titans, a game they probably could have won.
And should have won.
Yeah. A couple of scores for you before we get to our stats. In the Lee Summit North game, Broncos on top of Raypeck 27-7. That's as they get started with the fourth quarter over there. And what a surprise this one. We were talking about it earlier. The Park Hill Trojans 50-0 over Blue Springs. That's a final at Park Hill. You got to wonder, I don't know, maybe they had like COVID problems or something and a bunch of their key players were out. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the Wildcats lose that game by 50 points.
Well, and I tell you what, you got Park Hill, who's got Coach Sims, who is a winner, come from the Kansas side. It just takes time for the kids to gel, and they're believing in the system, and they are playing very, very well right now.
I was just looking at the game stats just to make sure that there was no glitch, and that is 50-0 is what they're saying was the actual score. Dang.
You know, if the folks that are still here listening and watching, if you got nothing to do tomorrow afternoon, you want to see a good, small high school football game, go down and watch Lincoln Prep take on Cardinal Ritter. The game's is, I believe it's a 1 o'clock start, but that'll be some good football tomorrow.
The other Lee Summit team, Lee Summit High School, loses to Blue Valley 60-28. They're actually still playing. It's just underway in the fourth quarter there at Blue Valley, but Tigers well far behind. So Mark has some of our post-game numbers from this one.
I do, and they are a little surprising stat-wise. Liberty had 246 yards in total offense. They ran 54 plays, had 97 yards through the air. 10 of 17 was how many they completed on 17 attempts. Looking here, rushing yards, 149 yards on the ground. 2 interceptions thrown for the turnovers. Their time of possession, unofficially, 24-50 is what it was. The Titans had the ball for 22 minutes and a little over 20 seconds on the game. So another big stat here that we looked at, 19 first downs for Liberty. They were 5 of 13 on third down conversions, and they were 1 of 5 on fourth down conversions. So defensively, the Titans have something they can hang their hat on. Offensively, not so much.
They played okay defensively, at least until the end of the game when they clearly had gotten worn out.
Yeah.
That last drive was a break your back drive. If the Titans could have come up with a stop on that last drive by the Blue Jays, then they would have had a pretty good chance.
Yeah, and
to win this game down by a point at that time.
Yeah, that defensive holding was a big penalty.
Yeah, huge
in that drive. They had him stopped and then had the penalty called for holding on that pass play.
And that did seem to kind of take some of the wind out of their sails.
It did.
Player of the game, Brian Haney. There's
yeah.
no point in discussing that one.
Right.
For the Titans, he was essentially the offense for the Titans. He ran a punt back. Nearly 50 yards, 48 yards for a touchdown. That was their first score. Ran an interception back, 95 yards, a pick 6 for their second score, and even got the fumble that led to their third score.
Yeah.
The only score they had on offense. And their offense was out of sync today. They were flat.
They are definitely, like you said, flat. They got to come out and play a lot more inspired football, and they've got I'm not going to say they're predictable, but they are very one-dimensional right now, and they've got to be able to open that up, and that comes with the quarterback Harden getting more experience and having the confidence of throwing that ball downfield.
Yeah, they did not see much of their passing game today overall. I got a little bit on that last drive, but. Yeah. To be honest, for the most part, it was just not a threat for Liberty. And the thing is it's a lot easier to play defense when you don't have to be concerned about the other team's passing game.
Oh, that's right. And so they were crowding the line of scrimmage. They were forcing them to take a look downfield, and they weren't willing to do it. And, Harden's got that long, lanky release, okay? Mm-hmm. So it does take him time to get wound up and get that ball thrown, but he does throw a nice ball when he gets it done.
Yeah, there was a period of time, though, there where he wasn't getting the time to throw.
No. Well, and, of course, he's lining up 5 to 6 yards off the line of scrimmage, and then he's doing a fake, and then he's rolling out and doing the bootleg action. You know what? I think it's time to scrap it. Let him sit there and let him stand back there and look and throw those quick slants and start working up the seams there a little bit and see if he can't hit some of those quick passes early and build confidence. And then you figure in the bootlegs and then give him an opportunity to throw the ball a little deeper downfield.
Well, and I didn't say so at the time, but on that last drive when they were trying, when they had 80 seconds to go and they were trying to get down there, I was actually pretty impressed with his willingness to stay in the pocket and take a hit to make a play.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple times on that drive where he was in the pocket. He had somebody coming after him. He knew he was going to get hit, but stayed in there and let go of the ball and completed the pass, made a good throw, and still got popped afterwards. And then in some cases it was a good throw in every case.
And what's the common thread there? The common thread is when he fakes that bootleg, he's turning his back to the defenders, okay? And when he turns his back, he gets disoriented and he can't see where he needs to be.
And not only that, he has not shown a propensity for throwing on the run as something
Right.
that he does that well. I tell you what, next week we travel out to Ray Peck. We're going to need a better performance out of our offense. Ray Peck coming off of a 27-7 losing at Lee Summit North. They still have a quarter to play out there, but down by 3 scores to the Broncos. It's not going to be a happy Ray Peck team when we get out there.
It will not, and of course Ray Peck does a nice job of defending their home turf. Now, for those of you that like watching the Titans broadcast, be watching Twitter, be watching Facebook this week, and we'll let the Touchdown Club know if we will be at the game.
At this point, we're not really sure, are we?
Yeah, we're not real sure right now, so we'll figure out what's going on. We'll talk with Chad Rader at 8:10, and we'll know what our assignment is, and we will let you know what we've got going on next Friday night, one way or the other, where you can find and see all the action.
Some of the other scores from tonight. Belton ends up coming back on Oak Park 41-21. That's a fourth quarter score. I mentioned the final, Park Hill 50-0 over Blue Springs at home. That was pretty amazing for the Trojans. Blue Valley Northwest beats St. Joe Central. It's 42-0 is that score. That's an early on score, but it's clearly going pretty well that way. It's a close game up Blue Valley North, Blue Valley Southwest. It's now 33-28 in the fourth quarter there in favor of North. Let's see what else we got here. Basler Linwood 26-21 over Center. That is a final. Sumner 32-0 over East. Bonner Springs loses to Eudora 48-28. The Harrisonville game you were interested in, there's about 5 minutes left to go, 36-27. Harrisonville over Warrensburg. Let's see what else.
That's an old rivalry there.
Lansing does defeat Shawnee Heights 17-14 the final there. Olathe North wins over Free State 21-7 against Lawrence Free State. So Olathe North continuing as the number 2 8-10 varsity ranked team.
Smithville.
Smithville
has a ball club this year. They're up 51-8 over Raytown South.
Quite a barn burner there. Leavenworth and Piper 25-23 with a minute left to go. Leavenworth on top. Mentioned Blue Valley winning at home to Lee Summit, 60-28 the score there.
St. Pius, Maryville. That's 2 perennial powers. Pius wins it by 1, 14-13.
Mill Valley for real this year, 41-10 over Shawnee Mission East. Odessa beats Oak Grove 29-21. Those are both finals. Gardner Edgerton, Olathe South, that's quite a game. In the couple minutes to go in the fourth, 34-30 Olathe South over Gardner Edgerton. Olathe West beats Shawnee Mission South 56-13. Tonganoxie over Paola 17-13 at Tonganoxie. Park Hill South beats William Chrisman. They're winning 28-13. Let's see.
St. Michael here in town. They played Tipton tonight. They won 41-6.
Platte County over North Kansas City, a 29-0 final. Platte County's a good team.
And North Kansas City's no slouch.
Yeah. Let's see.
Rockhurst 21-7 over Blue Springs South.
Yeah, that's
with a little bit of time left in the fourth.
About halfway through the fourth quarter there. Let's see. Lawrence is beating Shawnee Mission West 35-7. You mentioned the St. Pius and Aquinas Bishop Miege. Going to say a battle of something, but I decided not to.
Behave.
It is the day after Yom Kippur, you know.
Yes, it is. Behave.
So let's see. Fordo 51-14 over Van Horn in the fourth quarter there. I'm still looking for a Boonville score. It's 2 weeks now. And they must be playing people on the other side of the state. So Atchison beats Wyandotte 38-16 in the final there. Winnetonka and Grandview 24-20 in the fourth quarter. About 5 minutes left to go, a little less than that. All right, so the final score here, 28-20. Liberty handing the Titans their first loss of the season. They dropped to 3-1. They face Ray-Pec next week on the road. We'll hope to be there, but we don't know quite yet. So, like you said, keep your eye on Twitter and social media one way or another. We'll let you know what happens next week. If we don't go to Ray-Pec, then we're still on the road the week after that.
Is that Rutgers?
I think it may be. It's yes, at Rockhurst.
Yeah.
And then we have homecoming with Blue Springs the week after that. So this is definitely, and then Liberty North.
Which we are not allowed in the school.
Yeah, we won't be there for that. And then Lee Summit North. This is definitely, you finish off the season.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any easier any week.
Yeah, they're stacking them high and piling them deep. It's going to be a challenge for sure. Yeah, this is a game that got away from the Titans. They needed it. They needed this one.
This would have been a good victory. Although, again, the good news is it's just a regular season game.
And that's right. You got to learn, and you learn more from a loss than you do from a victory.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing about the Titans. Really. Ever since they've gotten to Class 6, a lot of times they've come out of the gate and put some great wins together to start seasons. But when it came to the playoffs, they didn't always know how to play against some of the top level teams. And that's more important. When all is said and done, you're playing for the playoffs, not for these regular season games.
It's all about the seeding, is what it is.
Well, that helps in terms of the regular season, but I'd rather, like you said, learn how to play football over the course of the first 9 games instead of,
Well, there's no question in my mind.
Whether you win or lose is less important.
Yeah, there's no question in my mind that the Titans have a defense to go deep in the playoffs. We got to get the offense on the same page.
Yeah. All right, 28-20, our final score from here at Titan Stadium. For Mark Files, Joel Becker, here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.